Feral tanks, eh? This is going to be fun. I mean, the Resto one was very, very different to this. You feral druids, I'd say you've got it easy. Feral tanks have got it easy, but with the complete opposite to how Resto druids have got it easy. The reason I said Resto druids had it easy was because the majority of their Nax gear, getting full tier 3 and the weapon from KT, the offhand from Saf, that's all going to last up until Karazhan. You don't even need to worry about replacing any of it. Feral tanks have got it easy because there's so many bits that you can get really easily in TBC that you actually are the complete opposite. You don't really need to worry too much about your gear now because by the time you get to 70, quite a bit of it's going to be replaced. I'd say half of it, but we're going to get into that. Obviously, I've just launched a new channel. There's going to be the second video dropping on there probably Monday. But the first video, if you don't know, it's about how to get free games this Christmas. So make sure you go onto my other channel, SJ Gaming Live, watch that video. It's not a marketing ploy or anything like that to try and drive traffic to my other channel. You know, go and subscribe on there if you like the video, obviously. But it is genuinely how you can get 15 free good games this Christmas. So, as I say, go check that out. And also, obviously, check me out over on Twitch at Scottejaye87. And while I talk about Twitch, I don't know if you know, so I feel like it's my obligation to educate you. With Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription, okay? So if you watch Twitch a lot and you watch various streamers and subscribe to them, or you subscribe to your one favourite streamer and that's it, obviously that costs you a £5 a month. £4.99, but let's call it a £5 a month. If you get Amazon Prime, it costs you £8 a month, so it's only an extra £3. But you get a free Twitch subscription to your favourite streamer. So you can still support your favourite streamer, pay an extra £3, that's it, but then you get Prime Video, Prime Music, free delivery, you know, flash deals, all of that stuff. If you do want to do that and you want to come and support me, preferably on Twitch, that would be nice, or anyone, you know, your favourite streamer, then use my affiliate code down below because obviously that helps support me, helps support the channel. So I just wanted to put it out there because I think for an extra £3 a month, you might as well get all the Prime deals as well as supporting your Twitch streamer. So like we always do, we'll just make the screen a little bit bigger so you can see all the gear up close a little bit. It was too far away when I was doing it on a small screen, and we'll get straight into it. So my furry friends, for the head, you've obviously got the Bug Trio from AQ, yeah, Guys of the Devourer. Very, very nice, obviously. 36 stamina, 19 agility, 17 strength, 12 dodge. Really good, really good. You're probably going to want to get this and keep it. Now, this is one what I couldn't call, so I think you're going to have to make your mind up for yourself. Because you've got Helm of the Claw, which comes... You'll get this just as going through your standard Karazhan attunement, because it's only from Steam Vaults, a quest in Steam Vaults, which you're obviously going to do. 25 agility, 21 stamina, hit 14, attack power 66. So obviously this nets more attack power. It nets more dodge. You get your meta socket and a yellow socket. You get resilience if you gem for the bonus, which goes towards your defense. You're getting crit immune. Now, I would be tempted to go for Helm of the Claw, personally. It would be the way I go. But you are going to be dropping a little bit of armor. You're going to be dropping possibly a little bit of stamina. Well, quite a bit of stamina, depending on what meta socket and yellow gem you go for. So overall, if you can get Guys of the Devourer, I think we could probably say these are about even once fully gemmed. You know, there's probably not that much in it, except for you're going to probably do more threat with Helm of the Claw, which as we go through this, you'll understand threat is not your issue. You really won't have that many threat problems as a feral tank. As long as it's single target. Multi-target, yeah, you're going to have a really bad time. But single target, you're not going to have threat issues. So I think if you can get Guys of the Devourer, get it and keep it. But I think ultimately you probably would swap it for Helm of the Claw, but you wouldn't unless it's gemmed. So if you want to save your gold, and the meta gems are going to be expensive. Mark my words, they're going to be very expensive to begin with. So my recommendation would be try and get Guys of the Devourer, yeah. So for the neck, now you've got Mark of Cthulhu or Mark of Seathon, whatever you call him. Very nice, obviously very nice, and you probably aren't going to replace this until maybe your Badger Justice neck. It may be a neck in Karazhan, but you're not going to replace it, because the best that you're going to get on the way to 70 is Mark of the Raven Guard, basically. And now, if we just talk about this just for a second, because I'd normally explain at the start of every video. I appreciate I've already started before I've even now covered this. I'm not telling you what your pre-raid BiS is in TBC. The way the video is structured is what gear will you get from quests, from dungeon quests on your way, you know, the things that you will 100% get with no effort. Because if you've got to go in and farm a heroic to try and get an upgrade, that can't be classed as really pre-raid BiS. And the reason I say that is because pre-raid is Karazhan, yeah? You're going to be wanting to go in Karazhan the day you get attuned. So you're not going to want to then go and start farming normal dungeons to get reputation, to get revered, to be able to get into heroics. You're not going to do that. So what is the gear that you will get between 60 and 70 without going out of your way from your attunement and from getting into Karazhan as quickly as possible? Some of this, where I say there is nothing better, of course you can go online and find something better, but it might be from Shattered Halls Heroic, it might be from Alcatraz Heroic, it might be Mekanar Normal, it might be somewhere where you just don't actually need to go before you raid. So Mark of Cthulhu, basically, so 24 stamina versus 40 stamina, but you're getting defense, dodge and hit on, you know, on Mark of Cthulhu or Seafun. I would probably lean more towards that personally, because you're only losing 2 defense, but you're gaining dodge, you're gaining hit, you're losing a bit of stamina. But if you want a bigger health pool, then Mark of the Raven Guard is obviously good. And ultimately, if you can't get the Mark from Classic, then you know you're going to get a very, very similar neck in TBC without trying anyway. Which, by the way, it comes from a dungeon quest, so you're not going to have any issues getting it. Now, these are very interesting. And I challenge anyone to find me something better and put it in the comments, actually. And you all know you love proving me wrong, so please do go and put something in the comments about how you will replace these. These are amazing. So obviously they're from Arathi Base and Exalted Reputation, 279 armor, 17 stamina, 18 agility, 30 attack power. I can't find anything that you will replace these with without going out of your way. Yeah, there's a pair from a heroic. But again, you're not going to be doing heroics, you're going to be going straight into Karazhan, then you're going to probably be going straight to Grawl, and you're probably going to be getting your tier 4 shoulders before you even bother getting shoulders from a heroic. Or if you're taking it serious, that will be the case. So, no, get these and keep them, because you'll be using them for quite a while. And then moving on to the cape. So again, a very, very good cape. So the Anna Brecken cape, Crypt Fiend Silk Cloak. If we can just compare it to the Tailoring Crafted Cloak, which again, so if you don't get Crypt Fiend, you haven't got to worry, because there's still a good alternative that's going to be dirt cheap. A tailor is going to make it. They'll make it just to get a point for you. Yeah, a point for them, sorry, and obviously the cape for you. So if we just compare it, 14 stamina on the Crypt Fiend versus 36 is a big stamina difference. So straight away I'm leaning towards the Cloak of Eternity. Defense 10, and you've got defense 23. So now what you're really looking at is the armor. The armor's the big factor here. So 212 armor on the Crypt Fiend Cloak versus 76 on the blue from TBC. Now, I think if you're getting up, 60+% damage reduction, preferably closer to 65, obviously, then you'd probably go for Cloak of Eternity for the more defense to get crit immune easier, and obviously it's got higher stamina. If you're struggling for armor, but you're not struggling for stamina, you'll go the other way. But ultimately, you haven't got to worry about getting this cloak, is what I'm saying. So Crypt Fiend, if you haven't got it, or you don't get it, you haven't got to worry, because you're going to get a BOE, which is arguably stronger. And I say arguably because I do favour armour quite highly, even compared to stamina. But would I be really willing to lose 22 stamina for some armour? I'm not so sure. That would really depend on the rest of my gear setup. You can't really take this one item and say, oh no, Crypt Fiend's clearly better. Because you don't know. If you're close to the armour cap, then no, Cloak of Eternity is obviously better. So really, preferably get Crypt Fiend if you can, because it might be useful, and it will definitely help you early on. But as I say, before you even get to 70, you'll probably get Cloak of Eternity from a tailor anyway. So I wouldn't worry about the cloak too much. Then Nax Trash Drop, so Ghoulskin Tunic. For anybody who's watched any of my gearing videos or anything to do with Druid tanks in TBC, don't worry about this, you don't want it. Get it if you want it, to play with in Classic, but you'll replace it very, very quickly with the Heavy Cleft Hoof Vest. So 500 armor, so it's got more armor, 45 stamina, so it's got loads more stamina, 3 sockets, so you can get even more stamina, and then obviously 24 defense rating. So no brainer, don't worry, by the time you're 70, you've probably got all the Cleft Hoof leather ready to get it crafted, because you'll probably spend a lot of time farming in Nagran to make sure that you get these when you ding 70. So don't worry about chest slot in Classic, disregard it completely. Whatever you've got will be just fine. Then you've got the Twin Emps wrists. Now, these are very nice, But so for feral DPS, I said you have to get these because they are strong for feral DPS. So if you plan on being the feral cat who goes bear in Karazhan, you know, to tank when needs be, then I would say get these, you know. But if you are just the bear tank who occasionally does some damage, then I wouldn't worry too much because you get Umber House Collar. So if you look at it straight away, 281 armor, so a lot more armor, 22 stamina versus 14. So even more. 20 strength versus 15. A little bit less agility. But it's the armor and the stamina we're really looking at there. You know, a ton. It's over double, obviously, the armor of the Karazhan execution braces. So Umber House Collar you're going to get because it's part of the Cipher of Damnation quest line. It's the third fragment of the Cipher of Damnation. So you do that as part of one of your tier 5 attunements anyway. So you will get these braces 100%. And you'll probably get them before 70. You'll probably get these around 69 because... Again, if you've watched any of my preparation videos and what you should do in TBC and all of that, you know you should be doing this quest line before you're 70 to save time, basically. So then moving on again, Twin Emps again. So the gloves. Now, these are amazing. Now, I've looked at lots of BiS lists and I've looked on the Druid Discord. I've looked at lots of places. And apparently these are not BiS. These are actually in Classic. These are not what Druids favour to use, which I find crazy because of how good they are in TBC. But obviously, it's a big fret fight, isn't it, in Classic? That's all it's about. It's about who can get the most fret as quickly as possible. What they're not looking at is the fact that you ain't going to replace these till tier 4. I can't, again, please correct me in the comments. If you can find a pair of gloves that you would use instead of these, they've got 269 armor, which is big. That's big for some leather gloves. And then obviously 22 stamina, which, you know, even the tier 4 gloves have only got 28. Not that much difference. 21 agility versus 24 on the tier 4 gloves. All right, 18 strength. It's double the strength, really. But, you know, that's it. It's only got some more strength. And obviously the tier 4 gloves have got loads more armor. But these gloves are crazy. So if we just get the tier 4 off the screen, forget that because you're probably looking at them thinking they're from Karazhan. You know, they're from Curator. So... you want these gloves. These are what you want to be soft reserving, trust me, from Twin Emps, because again, if anyone can find a better pair of gloves that you'd replace with these before tier 4, and don't link bloody dexterous gloves of manipulation or whatever they're called from Karazhan, one of the first bosses, because yeah, I'm talking you don't want those, do you? As you know, for your main set of gloves, you're going to go for your tier 4 gloves. So anyway, amazing set of gloves. You want to get them. And then what we got? So from Battleguard Satura, the Fit Karazhan belt. Again, forget the parry. Don't worry about the parry. We're looking at the big armor, the big stamina, you know, agility, which obviously gives even more armor. Yeah, really, really nice belt. And then if we compare it to that, you're going to do this quest again, part of an attunement. So this is from the Enraged Spirits of Air in Shadowmoon Valley. More armor, more stamina, more strength. Less agility, little bit less agility, and the parry's neither in or there. So if you haven't got a belt already, don't worry about it. You'll get this green belt on your between 69 and 70, and you're going to replace any epic belt that you can get in Classic. So again, if you haven't got a belt, forget about it. Don't worry, you don't need one. Then from Lower Theb, now these are nice. These are really nice. So Outriders leather pants. 257 armor, 28 agility, 27 stamina, and 14 crit. They're nice, but you're going to use heavy cleft tooth. It's as simple as that. You know, look at the difference. 503, 33 stamina versus 27. 3 sockets, 2 of which are blue. Just dump pure stamina gems in there, and then obviously 29 defense. So as nice as they are, and as much as you probably want them in Classic, I wouldn't worry. Literally, reserve something else. Any of these items where I'm saying don't worry, what you should be doing is gunning for the items that I'm telling you to get. And you know, don't be soft reserving these pants because they're a bigger upgrade than, I don't know, let's pretend you're still using, what are they called? Devil Saw. Let's say you're still using Devil Saw legs and you're like, oh my god, these are such a big upgrade, so you start soft reserving them. Don't bother, just keep your Devil Saw legs because these are going to go in a few months or 6 months when we're in TBC. You're not going to need them anyway. So just don't worry. Heavy cleft tooth leather legs, that's what you need. Then boots. Funny enough, same thing. Don't worry about boots. Whatever boots you're using, forget about it. Don't be reserving any boots. Be reserving items. Even if you're reserving items for feral, you know, for DPS spec. like, I don't know, DFT, but you're probably getting that for your tank spec in Classic, because as I say, it's a bit different to the itemization in TBC. But boots, yeah, you're going to get heavy cleft hoof boots. We don't even need to talk about that. Then from Resuvius and Twin Emps. Now, these rings, these are things that you should be reserving, because these are bonkers, actually. Really good. Obviously, as you know, armor is really important in TBC. And stamina is really important in TBC, and you've got it all. You've got 140 armor and 24 stamina on one, with 10 hit, which is always nice. 100 armor, 18 stamina, and 12 agility, and 13 defense. These rings are nutty, and you want to get them. Because let's compare them to what you would get. If you was lucky, or you're stacked out in cash, you might be able to get Band of Impenetrable Defenses. That was difficult to say. You might be able to get that ring. I ain't saying it again. 36 stamina. 26 defense. Looks nice, but it's got no armor. So, you know, you're going to get a bit of extra defense, bit of extra stamina. Odds are, with all the defense items we've gone over already, you're not even going to need any more defense. And then Wind Trader's Band, which is a quest from Neverstorm for dealing with the Overmaster. 34 stamina, defense, hit. Now, they've all, don't get me wrong, the TBC rings, yes, they've got more stamina. Would I drop that stamina for the other stuff? You know, you're going to lose hit, armor, agility. No, I wouldn't. I would use these two from Classic all the way into Karazhan. And then you're probably only going to replace one of them with your Exalted Violet Eye, maybe Revered Violet Eye, and maybe the Badge of Justice ring. There are others, you know, but we don't care about that. We worry about getting into raids, not what you're going to get in raids. So next up, so we've done rings, trinkets. This is where some of you are going to hate me. I understand why, because Smoking Heart of the Mountain from Enchanting and Mark of Tyranny. Now, these are the two most relevant trinkets that I could find for TBC. And you probably sat there like, what about DFT? What about Kiss of the Spider? What about all it? All right, fine. You know, if you want threat, but you're not going to need threat. So you're better off getting survivability. So you might want to mix it up. You might want to use like Mark of Tyranny with DFT, maybe, or whatever, you know. But ultimately, you're probably going to go engineering as a feral tank anyway, so you might as well just get goblin rocket launchers and get a crap load of stamina. That's it. That would be my advice. If you was going to put any trinket on there, get your goblin rocket launcher nice and quick, and don't worry about other trinkets, because you're not going to be using threat trinkets in TBC. Not unless it's so gimped and easy that survivability means nothing. And then if that's the case, I won't be playing it for very long anyway. But yeah, don't worry about trinkets in TBC either. Just get the goblin rocket launchers. And then weapons. Don't worry about weapons in Classic. They're all going to be replaced before you hit 70. So you've got, really, as a tank, you're probably going to want Brax's Staff of Slumber, I would say. It's a BOE. It's only level 64. With the amount of people that will be leveling, you'll be able to buy one of these off the auction house. You might get it drop yourself, or you can get it from a friend. Loads of stamina, loads of armor, a decent amount of attack power. Now, you might be on the fence. Again, depending on how much armor you've actually got, you might want Staff of the Beasts. Now, Staff of Beasts comes from the Ring of Blood in Nagrand. So, again, it's a quest you're going to do. You're definitely going to get this staff. So, Brax's Staff of Slumber's got less attack power than Staff of Beasts, but it's got the armor. But then Staff of Beasts has got more stamina, and you're going to do more threat with it because you've got all that strength and agility. And the agility is giving you a bit of armor and a bit of crit. And do you know what I mean? So, you would have to weigh it up. It really, like I've said all the way through this, it depends on what you're more heavy on. Are you more heavy on armor, or are you more heavy on stamina? And then you want to get more. If you've got more of one, you want to get some of the other. You know, so really, you're going to get both of these staffs. You're going to want both of them anyway. So don't worry about weapons in Classic; they're rubbish. The thing that's not rubbish though, so idols. Now, idol of brutality, what you're probably using already, you're still going to be using. Obviously, Maul is still really high threat. Swipe, you're not going to do a lot of threat with Swipe no matter what, whether you're using the idol or not, but every little helps, right? And then Idol of the Wild, you're going to get this in Hellfire from a quest quite close to Zangarmarsh, so that increases the damage done by Mangle by 51.75 apparently, in bear form. So that's nice, and you probably think, well, I'll get the Mangle one, but actually I would more favour the Maul, because the Maul threat generation and the amount of times you're going to be using Maul versus Mangle, I would definitely go Maul. But ultimately, you want to get both of these. So if you haven't got Idol of Brutality in Classic at the moment, definitely start getting in Strat and just get it, because you're going to want to take it into TBC. And we're done. So that's all the items that you need, all the items that you don't need, all the items that you're going to get on your way to 70 in TBC. I hope you found it useful. If you did, like I say, like, subscribe, check out my other channel where I'm teaching you how to get free games. And obviously remember the Amazon affiliate code down the bottom. And obviously check me out on Twitch. I'll duck down so you can see. Scottejaye87. Gonna have a mental stream night tonight. It's not going to be one you want to miss. And there is going to be... I'm going to have company. That's all I'm going to say. So peace out, boys.